Hi everybody, it's Anne-Marie O'Reilly here, and I'm just going to go through a presentation on the Leaving Cert 2021. So the documents for this presentation have been sourced from two elements, and the first main element is a guide to the state exams and accredited grades for the Leaving Cert 2021, which is this document here, and also from recent departments' educational circulars. So all of those can be downloaded online from education.ie. You will be able to get all of those to read for yourself. So in the Leaving Cert 2021, there's choices available. So the results will be awarded on the basis of either the student's performance in the Leaving Cert exams in any subject taken by them, including where appropriate, their performance in the completion of additional components, coursework, oral, so that's your June exam, or your SEC accredited grades awarded to students in each subject based on the school estimations of the student's likely performance in the 2021 exams and a national standardisation process. So them are the choices that are available, the June exams and the SEC accredited grades. So if we're talking about the state exams, the option, what's going to happen there? So students may opt to take the written Leaving Cert exam and all related additional components in 2021. So that's your normal June exam. The state exams will put everything in place, the necessary arrangement, provide these examinations subject to prevailing health advice. There are going to be adjustments to the papers. So there was adjustments outlined in December 2020, and further adjustments will be made to the written papers. In the majority of cases, these adjustments will involve reducing the number of questions, and further subject-by-subject guidance in relation to these adjustments will be issued by the SEC in the week of the 22nd of March. In relation to LCA, if your son or daughter is in the LCA, separate guidance will be provided on detailed arrangements for the task completion dates, and examinations are scheduled to go ahead on June 9th. So first of all, what is an SEC accredited grade? We've seen it last year. We're just going to revise. For last year's Leaving Cert, they went through this process, so it's the same idea again this year. So it's a combination of the student's expected performance in an examination provided by the school and a national standardisation using data available in relation to the performance of students in exams over a period of time, which may include their junior certificate results and previous Leaving Cert results. So it's a combination of two elements that are there. So a question now is, how does the school compile the accredited grades? It's the teacher's estimation of the student's percentage marks across the 2 years of senior cycle and the student's expected performance in the examination, including written exams and, where relevant, tasks, oral, practical and or coursework components. So that's step one. So the teacher has to look over the 2 years and compile their information and have the evidence to support that information and the grade that they're going to give. After that, then, is step two. There's a school alignment process, of which the marks for each subject through a subject alignment meeting comprising teachers who are teaching the subject to Leaving Cert level students this year. So a meeting will take place amongst the teachers in a department just to make sure that everything is above board and very transparent. This process then is overseen by the school principal, who will make sure that everything is done properly and that there's evidence to back up the grades that are given. And the transmission of these marks then are sent to the SECs for the national standardisation. Just in relation to coursework, orals and practical exams. Practical exams, due to COVID restrictions, it will not be possible to hold practical exams in engineering or construction. So the marks for this part will be given to the project. The marks allocated for the written exam will stay the same. Music. Well, this has been just announced that the SEC appointed examiners will be taking place during the second week of the Easter holidays. Orals are going to take place between the 26th of March and the 15th of April, outside normal tuition time. So it's going to be either during the Easter holidays or weekends, and there'll be further details to clarify that for you. The LCVP, well, this exam will take place in May with the exact date to be announced, so that we're waiting for that. And any subject with coursework attached will be completed by the student and submitted to the SEC for marking if applicable. And I have the submission dates now on the next page so that you'll be able to look over that. So if they're doing social and scientific, well, that has been completed and already marked. LCVP, the completion date is the 12th of March. And to facilitate the timely marking of this subject, return by post to the SEC immediately following the completion date of the March 12th. So that'll be done by the school and they'll be returned. DCG is the 19th of March. And again, the school will be returning these to the SEC during the week ending the 26th of March. History, geography and agricultural science all have to be done by April 23rd, and they're going to be retained in the school to be sent off with the written exams. Engineering project is due May 7th and it's retained in the school for marking. Same with art is going to May 20th to be retained in the school for marking. And finally, construction is going to be retained in the school for marking as well. Marking. So that is basic overall in relation to the projects. So just to get a bit of clarity on the coursework completion, if a student is doing the written Leaving Cert, subjects with coursework and project components must be completed, otherwise students will lose the marks for the coursework in their entirety. And if a student is not doing the written Leaving Cert and is opting for an accredited grade in the subject, coursework completion is not a requirement. Please remember that teachers will draw on existing records and available evidence, including performance on any coursework component when compiling the accredited grade. So it's important that coursework and projects would be completed. As I said, it's not a requirement, but we would advise that students would complete that in order to give teachers the evidence to mark and assign accredited grade. So next Wednesday is the 10th of March, and it's going to be a very important date for students. So the State Exams has developed a self-service portal for Leaving Certificate and Leaving Cert applied students to register for their exams and receive the results online. As I said, the exam portal will open on Wednesday the 10th of March at 12 noon until the 16th of March, 6 p.m. You will need your exam number and your PPS number at hand. Students register on the portal using their exam number, which will be issued over the next, been issued to some students already, and if you're absent, you'll get it Monday. And students need to confirm when they get onto the portal. They'll need to confirm their subjects and the level, and opt for the examinations and or to receive the SEC credited grades. If you're doing a subject outside of school, you can also enter it at this stage. So the portal is going to open up. Your son or daughter will have to see that their subjects are right and the level is right. Next step then is to confirm whether they're going to take all accredited or do accredited and written. The portal will close then, but it will open up again in April or early May. And students can confirm their levels again in each subject because they might change their mind. And that can be done at that stage. And also at this stage, students can withdraw their attention to take the written exam. So if I feel that I'm not going to do the written exam, I indicated originally by the 16th of March I was, but now I've changed my mind, I can untick that box. But what I cannot do is indicate my intention to sit the exam after the 16th of March. So I cannot, after the 16th of March, decide in April or May when the portal opens, I want to sit the exam now. So it's very important for students maybe to tick get the SEC accredited grades and to tick the written box that they're going to take the written exams. When it opens up then in April or May, they can make a more informed decision as to what they're going to do, and they can withdraw if they want to. The levels selected by the candidates at the end of April, early May, will be the absolute final decision when it comes to subject levels in which they receive their accredited grade. So once they make that decision or higher or ordinary in relation to accredited grade, once the system closes, that is it. If you do the written exam and you've chosen to do the written exam, you can change the level on the day for the written paper only, not for the accredited grade. So if I choose both options, what does that mean? So I have the SEC accredited grade as you can see on this side, and then I have the conventional Leave Cert. I did all written papers and this is my grades that I got. What happens next then? The highest of either one is selected. So whichever one is the higher, that's what's selected. And that's the results that will be issued to me in August. If there will be an appeals process available, and you can appeal your result. If you went all for accredited grades, you can appeal that result, but you will not get the opportunity to sit the paper. Last year, students, as they got their accredited grade, if they weren't happy, they could sit the paper. This year, if you get accredited grades and you choose all accredited grades or half accredited grades, whatever way you go, you cannot sit the paper. Your opportunity to sit the paper was in June. There is no contingency to allow students to sit a paper again. And also, if a student was sick or, God forbid, had COVID during the exam time, it'll go automatically to accredited grade. There is no contingency plan as of yet put in place to sit another written paper. So it's very important that students and parents understand that there's no contingencies there. So what you need to think about and have a discussion with your son or daughter is, what option am I going to take when the portal opens on the 10th of March? Remember, every student in Ireland is going to get an accredited grade in each subject. So your choice will be to go either for all accredited grades and do not sit any written exam, or opt for a combination of written exams and accredited grades. It's recommended that students would do both, would go for this option here. And I think when the system can open again, it gives an opportunity to say, or the portal when it opens in April, May, that you can withdraw from the written. I would be kind of really emphasising and recommending that students go for both levels. Again, it's a personal choice, but for the options, for just a safety, I would say go for both. Remember, teachers need evidence to give an accredited grade. They have to look at the overall picture across the 2 years of the senior cycle, and it's so important to complete all coursework and projects. Again, it's a recommendation, it's your own personal choice, but we would recommend that all coursework and projects would be done in order to help to come to this accredited grade. By choosing to do the written papers and the accredited grades, you've only something to gain, you've nothing to lose. By doing both sets, you're going to get the higher of both, so you've nothing to lose here, only something to gain. The word standardisation and national standardisation, and we just want to make a note of this, that when that comes into play, it can bring a student's grades down. So if you went for all accredited and standardisation happened, it can actually bring down the grade. So that's very, very important to remember. That's why I would recommend students doing both. But again, I have to say it's a family choice and a personal choice. Now, if anybody has any queries and want any clarity in anything, please do not hesitate in any way to contact me. It's guidance@ballyhonacs.ie, or you can contact the school 094 963 0235. And from the options, just press the guidance counsellor option. And if I'm not at my desk, you can leave a message and I'll give you a call back. I hope you have found this presentation helpful. And as I said, if you need any help, please do not hesitate to contact me.